I love the Lego Movie. It's been 5 years since it came out, and the sequel has just released. So I think now is a good time as any to talk about the film and why I love it. Or more specifically, why it even works in the first place. I remember hearing about the Lego Movie and seeing the first trailer for it. I was a bit skeptical like most people, but still very curious about what Warner Brothers could do with a property like Lego. It ended up being a huge success, and it's actually starting to have copycats like the Playmobil movie show up. And from the trailer, I can tell that they don't really get why the Lego Movie ended up being the success that it was. I could be wrong, but to me, it seems like an attempt to cash in on nostalgia for a toy that doesn't really resonate as well as something like Lego. So what did make the Lego Movie so great? Well, here are a few of my points as to why the Lego Movie works and why I love it. My first point is about the presentation. It's a bit more straightforward than my other points, but I was seriously impressed by just how realistic the Lego bricks look. A lot of people mistook the movie as stop motion, but it's CG. There are subtle scratches and fingerprints on the bricks that give them even more of a realistic look. The lighting and colors also gave it a very unique vibe with each world the characters visited. It really felt like going on a journey through a kid's imagination. It's not just how the movie looks though, it's also how it sounds. One thing that really impressed me, even more than the visuals, was the music. I don't really know the technical terms for music, but there's just something about the score that captures the feeling of Lego just perfectly. Not just everything is awesome, but the entire score. The weird electronic sounds and noises just fit Lego somehow. The second point I want to bring up is just how creative the movie is. Unlike a lot of toys, Lego is very much whatever you want it to be. Of course, there are sets with distinct instructions that tell you exactly how to build what's on the box, but the great thing about Lego bricks is that there is no limit to what you can create as long as you can fit two pieces together. That limitless creativity is part of what made it so perfect for an animated movie. I believe that animation is truly limitless, so these two creative forces go hand in hand. For most of the movie, everything is made out of Lego, even the water and smoke. If it's not Lego, the minifigures call it a relic, which reminds me of something I would have my minifigures do as a kid. There are these set worlds that the characters go through, but each one can end up changing into something completely different, and we see that by the end of the movie. There's a bit of a message about conformity versus individuality with that. The first time I saw the Lego Movie, I was grinning ear to ear throughout the majority of the film. It's one of the few movies that made me feel like a kid again, and that's my next point as to why the movie works. This point is more of a personal one, since I did grow up playing with Lego. I would get Lego sets anytime I was able to, I'd get Lego magazine in the mail, and I would even try to make my own stop-motion movies with the Lego Movie Studio set I got for Christmas one year. However, some of my better memories with Lego are when I would make up my own stories whether I was by myself or playing with a friend. And I think the Lego Movie captures that sort of child imagination perfectly. A lot of the dialogue in the movie sounds like it's being made up in real time by a kid playing with his Lego minifigures. And as someone who remembers what it was like to make up dumb stories and characters with Lego, it gives me an incredible nostalgic feeling that I don't think a lot of big-name brands like Lego are able to capture. They even have a lot of deep cuts of different Lego products played for laughs in the movie, like Octan. The movie makes fun of the concept of sticking to the instructions, how the minifigs have limited movement, and how a lot of them have very generic faces. A lot of it might seem like pandering to some, but it's played off in such a lighthearted and humorous way that it's hard not to like it. My final point is about the story and the message or messages that it sends. I was surprised when after I saw the movie and discussed it with a few friends, we came up with different themes for what the movie was about. I thought it was about individuality, one of my friends thought it was about teamwork, and a lot of people on the internet thought it was about creativity. So, what is it about? I've seen the Lego Movie dozens of times now, and I think I can safely say, well, it's about all of them. There's probably a whole tangent I can go on about how we interpret media differently depending on who we are, but I do believe that the Lego Movie touches on all of those themes and possibly more. Some people were saying at the time when it came out that the Lego Movie, despite its quality, is still just a glorified commercial to sell toys. And maybe that was the original intent behind it. But I think it captures the spirit of Lego and childlike imagination so well that it's hard to notice. I didn't want to go into the finer details of the Lego Movie in case you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen the Lego Movie, definitely check it out, especially if you grew up playing with Lego. And I'll see you next time with my review of the sequel. Bye!
gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to take